Two cash machines side by side. Same buttons, same functions, same speed. One is beautiful, clean layout, careful spacing, considered colors. The other is plain and cluttered. Researchers asked people which machine was easier to use. Almost everyone picked the pretty one. It was not actually easier, it only looked better. That study really happened at Hitachi in Japan back in 1995. Two researchers named Masaki Kurosu and Kaori Kishimura built 26 versions of a bank machine screen. They measured how usable each version truly was, then asked people how usable it felt. The two numbers did not match. What predicted the feeling of ease was not ease at all. It was beauty. A team in Israel assumed this was a cultural quirk. Noam Traktinsky repeated the experiment in 1997. Instead of vanishing, the effect came back even stronger. This is the aesthetic-usability effect. People perceive attractive designs as easier to use whether or not they actually are. Why does this happen? 3 reasons, and they stack. First, speed. People form an opinion about a screen in about 50 milliseconds. That is faster than you can read a single word. Second, the halo effect. When one quality impresses us, we assume the rest are good too. Beautiful becomes trustworthy. Trustworthy becomes easy. Third, emotion. Don Norman said it best. Attractive things work better. Frustration narrows your thinking. Delight widens it. Think about where you type your card number. A checkout page with careful type and generous spacing feels safe, even trustworthy. A checkout with clashing fonts and a squashed form feels like a scam, even when it is perfectly secure. Polish is a security signal. In banking, in health, in anything that asks for trust, visual craft is real work, not decoration. Now for the dangerous half, which almost nobody talks about. The effect does not only help you, it hides things from you. Put a beautiful prototype in front of a test participant. They hit a confusing step. They pause, then they quietly blame themselves and move on. They never mention it because the design looks so professional, the fault must be theirs. Your satisfaction scores stay high. And a real problem walks right past you into production. Tolerance is a budget, not a blank check. Beauty buys forgiveness for small friction, an extra tap, a slightly odd label, a slow animation. It buys nothing for real failure. Lose someone's payment, drop their data, break the one thing they came to do. The goodwill vanishes in a second. Worse, they feel tricked, because you looked so competent. So how do you use this on purpose? 4 moves. Move 1. Fund the craft. Spacing, type, and color are usability work, not a coat of paint at the end. Give them real time on the schedule. Move 2. Win the first 5 seconds. That snap judgment frames everything that follows. Your empty states, loading screens, and first screen deserve your best effort. Move 3. Test behavior, not opinions. Never ask whether they liked it. Give them a task and watch. Count the errors. Time the hesitations. Numbers do not have a halo. Move 4. Never let polish be the fix. If a flow is broken, redesign the flow. Paint on a broken door only makes people angrier when it will not open. Now go back to those 2 cash machines from the very beginning. The beautiful one really did have an advantage. Not because it ran faster, but because people arrived calmer, trusted it sooner, and forgave it more. That is a real effect, and you can design for it. But the same glow that earns you patience will also hide your worst mistakes. Beauty is not the opposite of function. It is a multiplier for it and a blindfold if you are careless. Next episode is the Zeigarnik effect, and why an unfinished progress bar is almost impossible to ignore. If this changed how you see your favorite app, subscribe, and we will see you next class.